Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. I hope you've liked all of the other videos that I have shared with you and you've also tried some of the recipes. So today what I'm going to be showing you how to make is a dish I've called fiery salmon with a sticky honey and soy glaze. Now salmon is something I love to cook. You can cook it using so many different spices, so many different marinades. You can bake it, pan fry it, roast it, grill it. Today I'll be baking it in the oven. So salmon has a lot of omega-3, it has a lot of vitamin D. They say if you bake it in the oven as opposed to pan frying it, it really keeps in some of those nutrients. So when it's cooked, it's a lot more healthier for you and it really gives that soft, tender flakiness to the salmon. Okay, so what I'm going to start off with is showing you guys how to make the marinade. And the first thing I've added is 1 tablespoon of sesame oil. So I'm going to pop that in. Okay, then I have got some soy sauce. So you can either use light soy sauce or dark soy sauce. Dark soy sauce, what I'm using today, is less saltier, but more or less any soy sauce will do. So I'm going to add that in. I have then got about 1/4 cup of honey. Okay, I have 5 cloves of garlic, which I've minced up. So I'm going to add that in there. And I have 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. I've got 1 teaspoon of pepper. I've got 1 teaspoon of paprika. And I also have some sriracha sauce, so I've got 2 tablespoons of this. Now, if you don't have sriracha sauce, any chili sauce will do that you've got in your fridge, and just add about 2 tablespoons and that will do it. Now you can also add some chili flakes if you're a spice lover like myself. I'd say just add a pinch of chili flakes to the mix. And it's up to you if you want to add salt or not. Like I said, if you're using light soy sauce, it has a lot of saltiness, so I would just add salt to taste. I'm going to add a pinch of salt. Okay, so this is just a really nice, easy marinade to make. It's just using the simplest ingredients from your fridge or your cupboard, and it goes with salmon really, really well. Hi guys, so this is the second part to my fiery salmon with a honey soy glaze. Now earlier on I showed you guys how to do the marinade, which I've put into the bowl. And here I have 5 salmon fillets. Now whether you have 4 or 5, it doesn't make a difference. If you have a little bit more marinade, it doesn't matter. So because I have a family of 5, I'm using 5. So what I've done is I defrosted these overnight, and I've now put them into a oven tray. As I said before, I'm going to bake them. So whether you have them frozen and you choose to defrost them, or whether they're fresh, either way. So the first thing I'm going to do is, in this bowl, I have got 1 tablespoon of butter, which I've melted. I've got 2 tablespoons of oil, and I've added a pinch of salt and 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. So I'm going to take this mix and I'm going to lightly just pop it onto my salmon. So this is just a really light marinade, which I'm going to do first of all. It really softens the salmon. Okay, I'm going to add some more on the bottoms. And just here. Okay, and now I'm going to put my marinade everywhere. So what you can do, you can put it in a oven tray, just like I have done, and you can also make little foil parcels just to keep the marinade in there. Either way, as long as you use an oven tray which has quite a good height, so it keeps the marinade in there. And just slowly put the marinade over your salmon. Okay. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make sure that the top of the salmon is really nicely coated with the marinade. Okay, so the oven tray that I'm using, as you can see, the salmon is really nice and tightly packed, so when it does cook, it cooks really well with the marinade. If you have a slightly bigger oven tray, what you can do is you can make little foil parcels with the salmon. Either way, the best thing is just to make sure that the salmon's really nice and coated in this marinade. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I've preheated my oven to 180 degrees and I'm going to pop it in. You don't want to overcook the salmon, you want to make sure it's really nice and soft and it just softly flakes off. Hi guys, okay, so my salmon is now done and it looks absolutely delicious. At the end of the video, I will post a picture on the end product. So, in terms of the cooking time, my salmon has taken slightly longer. It's taken about 20 minutes to cook. Now, this is because of the thickness of the salmon. If you have a really thick bit of salmon, the end part, which is the thinner bit, may have cooked perfectly, but the middle part, right in the middle of the salmon, may still be a little bit raw. So I've just cooked it for about 20 minutes just to ensure it's cooked all the way through and still soft and flaky. Now, if you have a thin salmon fillet, you'll only need about 12 to 15 minutes of cooking. So it's really important to make sure that your salmon is really well done. A good way to test it if you're not sure is after 15 minutes, take it out of the oven, flake away the thickest part of the salmon and break it with a fork. If it still looks a bit raw, or if it doesn't look that good nice pink colour that cooked salmon is, then pop it back in for 5 minutes. A few extra minutes won't hurt. The important thing is you want to make sure that it's cooked and done. So like I said, it's taken me about 20 minutes to cook, and I will put all the information about cooking time below. So a quick recap: if it's thin, I would say cook it for about 12 to 15 minutes. If it's quite thick, 20 minutes just to ensure it's cooked all the way through, so it's really nice when you eat it. So I'm going to be having this with grilled asparagus and a really nice salad, and the best way to have it is to serve it hot. Enjoy. Thank you guys.